We have another stack show coming your way on Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you are enjoying your Thanksgiving holiday. On the show today, Eagles are still in first place in the NFC East. They are 9-1 with 7 games left, on a really good path right now. Every time they finish 9-1 in franchise history, they've either made it to an NFC championship game or made it to an NFC title game or a championship or a Super Bowl. We'll take a gander at the NFC playoff picture and path for Philadelphia and round out by taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the Birds. First, though, today's poll question is this. By season's end, who will have the number 1 seed in the NFC? Is it the Eagles? Type PHI. The Niners? Type SF. Minnesota? Type MIN. Or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Type TB. These are the top 4 teams seeding-wise right now in the NFC. Let us know right now in the comment section. And if it's a different team, let us know down below. We begin by taking a look at the NFC East standings. And this division going into 2022 wasn't expected to be this competitive, but it's been one of the more successful divisions in football in recent memory. And coming down the wire, going down this stretch run, it's going to be fascinating to see how things play out. I think the Eagles are the best team. I think they're the most well-rounded roster. I think they're the best coach team in the NFC East. But crazy things happen, and the Eagles, as we're about to show you with that upcoming schedule, 2 games left against the Giants, 1 game left against the Cowboys. But right now, a 2-game lead over Dallas with 1 game remaining left to play against those Cowgirls. Birds sitting nice at 9-1. Cowboys, Giants at 7-3. Commanders, they have won 4 of their last 5, sneakily making a run at a potential playoff spot at 6-5. They could be a dangerous team in the playoffs because their defense, they're very, very physical and getting back Chase Young. Thanksgiving slate. It's a really good one and an important game within this division. New York Giants on the road, AT&T Stadium in Arlington at Jerry World to play the Dallas Cowboys. Earlier this year with Cooper Rush, Dallas was able to go on the road at MetLife Stadium and come through with the win. Dallas, they thumped the Minnesota Vikings last week on a few days of rest. How are they going to play? Micah Parsons a little bit banged up. Oddsmakers not too concerned. Nearly double-digit point favorites against New York. -9 is the line. The over-under set for 44.5. I know that nobody's going to be rooting for either team in this matchup, but who are you pulling for on Thanksgiving? We're going to have our bellies full following a big hearty Thanksgiving meal watching this game, and it does have a lot of implications in this division and in the NFC. So who you got? NYG for the Giants, DAL for the Dallas Cowboys. It's F New York and it's F Dallas all the time, but just pick a winner. NFC Playoff Picture is this awesome graphic by our graphics team. The Birds with that number 1 seed. 2-game lead over the Minnesota Vikings because they do own the tiebreaker after beating Minnesota back in week 2 on Monday Night Football. Those Vikings at 8-2. Albeit with the loss to Dallas, they still hold on to that 2 spot. San Francisco 49ers just annihilated the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football in Mexico City. They now have the division lead in the NFC West over Seattle because they beat Seattle back in week 2 as well. So they're in that 3 spot. Look out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This could be a dangerous team for Philadelphia early in the playoffs because Tom Brady, you never rule him out. They're in that 4 spot because they're the leaders of the NFC South at an even 5-5. Cowboys at 5th, 7-3. Giants right behind them at 7-3. Seattle Seahawks, the last playoff spot at number 7 at 6-4. Other teams in the mix, Washington 6-5, Atlanta 5-6, Detroit, Dan Campbell, the Fighting Kneecaps, 4-6, Green Bay 4-7, but the Eagles have an opportunity to officially put them in the dirt. We go team by team here. Couple of big games coming up for Philadelphia here. Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. The week after that, Tennessee Titans. So what looked to be a pretty easy schedule at the start of the year on the back end because this divisional race is so tight with quality teams, it's all of a sudden become very, very difficult. This is why that win against the Indianapolis Colts was so big. Because upcoming, you have a tough Green Bay team fighting for their seasonal lives here to just try to eke by and make it into the playoffs. And the Titans, in my opinion, one of the best teams in the NFL, always well coached by Mike Vrabel. They're very, very physical. Their defense could give this Eagles offense trouble, but the additions of Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph did help against Jonathan Taylor. Can they help coming up against Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry as well? For Minnesota, upcoming slate looks as such. New England Patriots in Week 12, New York Jets in Week 13. They just benched Zach Wilson, so former Eagle great Joe Flacco will get the start there. Coming off a 40-3 loss to Dallas at home, and Minnesota has to prove that they're not frauds, but it's Kirk Cousins. I think they are frauds. San Francisco 49ers in that 3 spot. As we just talked about, upcoming slate looks as such against the Saints and Miami Dolphins. They're currently one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The leaders for consecutive wins right now across the league is for the San Francisco 49ers on a 3-game tear. That Miami Dolphins game, I hope it gets flexed to primetime because that's going to be a really good matchup with Kyle Shanahan going up against his former protege in Mike McDaniel. As for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if their ground game improves and they become a more well-rounded offense, this could be a very dangerous team because Tom Brady is still getting the job done. If you look at his numbers and you don't look at that 5-5 Bucs record, Tom Brady's actually played pretty well this year. Offensive line has been in shambles because of injuries. He has been let down by his receivers dropping some really big passes. And the Bucs, they have studs across the defensive side of the ball, and that's one of those teams that if they get hot here at the end of November into December, they can make some noise knowing it could be Tom Brady's last hurrah. As for those Dallas Cowboys, are we ever going to buy into the Cowboys as being a serious threat in the NFL playoffs when they haven't done zilch over the last quarter century plus? They can be 7-3. They can crush the Minnesota Vikings 40-3 and look good in the process until they actually do something when it matters. And Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones, I'm talking to you. I'm not buying into Dallas. Giants and Colts upcoming for Dallas. The Giants, they play the Dallas Cowboys Thursday for Thanksgiving. So obviously those of you watching this Thanksgiving Day or after the fact, keep in mind these standings leading into Thanksgiving. Week 13 against the Commanders, Wan'Dale Robinson out for the season with a torn ACL as the Giants continue to get crushed by injuries at that wide receiver spot. We're going to take a look at the Eagles' remaining schedule coming up here in just a second, but first, I want to tell you about this incredible deal from ButcherBox. This Black Friday, ButcherBox is offering our Eagles Now viewers and listeners one of their best steak deals. You can get 2 10-ounce ribeyes free in every box for a whole year when you join, plus an additional $10 off if you sign up today at butcherbox.com/NFL Daily and use the code NFL Daily. That's free ribeyes for a year plus $10 off using that link. They take the guesswork out of finding high-quality meat and seafood that you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Humanely raised, no antibiotics, and no added hormones. Get just what you want delivered right to your doorstep. Free shipping for the continental United States with no surprise garbage fees. Choose from a variety of box plan options from curated to customized and change your plan whenever you want. Enjoy a range of high-quality cuts that are hard to come by at the grocery store at an amazing value. It's butcherbox.com/NFL Daily, and I told a lot of you about my fitness journey here. I graduated Temple University back in 2015. I was like 220 pounds. I'm down to 170 now. A big reason for that, I eat very healthy. I take what I put in my body very seriously. That includes some of these prime cuts from ButcherBox, and I work out. Run streak approaching 200 straight days, so I do take this stuff very seriously, and that's why I'm a huge fan of ButcherBox. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. Upcoming schedule for Philadelphia. They take on the Packers and host them on Sunday Night Football. If you're watching our live show, we'll preview this game coming up here in just a few moments. Home game against the Tennessee Titans. So the good, you get to take on the Green Bay Packers and Tennessee at home. The bad, you go on the road for 3 consecutive games against the New York Giants at MetLife. Weird stuff often happens inside that stadium against a fierce divisional foe. Growing up, I don't know about you, sometimes I hated the Giants more than the Dallas Cowboys. 18th against the Chicago Bears on the road. Justin Fields is banged up. He might be out for the rest of the season with the shoulder injury. That could be an AC issue. If that's the case, Trevor Siemian is their backup. That's obviously a game that if the Eagles lost, that would be a disaster considering where we are and where we'll be at that juncture in the regular season. Christmas Eve, I can't wait for this watch party against the Dallas Cowboys right down the road as we're coming to you from the Chat Sports National Studios in Dallas, Texas. That's going to be a huge game. So that is the upcoming schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then another game against the New York Giants as well. AFC playoff picture. We just want to update you on what's going down with the AFC because a lot of you tune into the show. You're big football fans, right? So here's what's transpiring in the other conference. And maybe one of these teams could be one of the teams that the Eagles take on in Super Bowl coming up in February. So the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Andy Reid, 8-2. They have that 1 seed. The Miami Dolphins, undefeated with Tua Tagovailoa at 7-3, currently occupying that 2 spot. Tennessee Titans, we'll see them in 2 weeks. 3rd seed in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens going to be extremely feisty. Lamar Jackson having another really good year as he tries to secure the bag. Their intense and physical defensive style of play, it's just a team that I wouldn't want to face, but Lamar Jackson's going to have to prove that he can carry the load offensively for a team in the big dance to certainly earn that money. Buffalo Bills struggling a little bit. The AFC East, better than a lot of people expected outside of Buffalo because of the Dolphins and the New England Patriots. That's why the fight Buffalo Bills 5th right now in the AFC. The team to really look out for is the Cincinnati Bengals, who right now currently own the last available spot in the AFC. Other teams in the mix, New York Jets, Los Angeles Chargers, and after that, it's a dumpster fire in the depths of that conference. So I just want to get the good vibes going here. I hope so badly that the Philadelphia Eagles can make a deep playoff run. And to get the good vibes going, just type SB to help wish for a Super Bowl appearance for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you have to pray, get your rosary beads, whatever you got to do, drop down to a knee. Eagles make it to a Super Bowl. That would be absolutely epic. So get the good vibes going right now ahead of time.